What's up, guys? It is Dro from Gen-Dro Studios. It is nice to see you all yet again later this night or afternoon or wherever you are. I hope that you all enjoyed this show. It's not really a show, it's a stream. I hope you enjoy the stream. Um, so, so recapping on what I said earlier, if you watched the Jedi stream, I talked about actually completing the campaign, which I did off stream, and what the heck was going on? There was just a bunch of stuff. I don't even know. Sorry, I'm watching my stuff back there. I don't even know. Apparently, there's vampiric powers that you can get that's part of the season. Just a buttload of things just unlocked for me, and there's the Tree of Whispers, all sorts of stuff. So I played a little bit of it today in between walks, and let me tell you something. Holy crap, man! There is a lot of stuff to do. Now, as I predicted, I was able to get higher tier equipment, but it's going to take a little bit of some finagling. So my goal is hopefully this armor that I have, that 600, will last me up to level 70 before I start doing anything, because it's going to get a little. It's kind of hard to finagle it. So I don't know what the max cap for armor is before you start doing nightmare runs or anything at this level. I know that the level 60 equipment that I found was like item level 730. My item level is 600. So hopefully with the vampiric powers, it'll kind of even itself out a little bit. So I'm hoping I can get far enough to do it and getting enough Paragon points into my build that I will be able to kind of offset having to get new equipment at the moment. Because honestly, that's a lot of stuff. Like, if you ever play Diablo 4, you'll realize how overwhelming it can be sometimes to even deal with that kind of stuff. But for the most part, I'm quite satisfied with how it worked out. There's so much to do. I know that this Midwinter Blight's going to be out of style in a little bit. The Whispers of the Dead, I think, is part of it, and then the Helltide is part of the game. So those two won't go away. So my main focus right now is either I do some Midwinter Blight stuff and get some of the items from here. So I was taking a look at the event shop, and so right now it looks like it's mostly cosmetic back trophies. Some daggers, some weapons, cosmetic stuff, and then there's they have the purse, which is like a cache full of rewards. The Gildan's Brew that increases your lucky hit chance by 15 and your experience gained by 15 for 30 minutes. That's actually pretty nice, and it only costs one of whatever you get here. And then your Midwinter Spoils, which allows you to get a collection of rewards such as armor, gem fragments, potential dose of Gillian's Brew, and then the Shard of Dawn offensive aspect, which 30 seconds of Night's Grasp, gain Dawn Haste, increasing your tick speed and move speed by 12 seconds while powered by Midwinter Ward. Killing an enemy reduces Night Grasp duration by 1 second. So that's an aspect that you can add onto your armor. It's a sacred legendary aspect, I guess. So that's a pretty neat little thing. I might get this and just hold on to it, maybe. I don't know. It seems like really the only things I really am thinking that I'm probably going to get are the cosmetics if I was to actually do this. But I'm a very limited time. So I don't know if I should even waste my time on that and just focus on the Season of Blood or not. I haven't decided. I dipped into it a little bit and unlocked the blood power. So it's really cool. Chocolate! Love me some chocolate break. So it's really cool. I like it. Let me get back into my thing. So in your inventory, you select the L2 button, and then you get your vampiric powers. And from what I understand, you can only equip 5, and each one requires you to have these tokens on your armor. So I just put a bunch of tokens on my armor anyway. Not a big deal. Most of the stuff doesn't really it doesn't really require you to have that much on you, so it's not a big deal. Um, and then like you get the potent blood, and you consume it, and you get like a random chance to unlock a power. I had like 900 saved up, so I was just like, well, let's go to town. So I unlocked quite a few. I think I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 left to unlock, and then the rest of them I'm just upgrading as I go. It's completely random, and you only get like 3 choices per level that you do it, and it's like one experience if you're doing the 25. Sorry, peanut butter. So you spend 25 potent bloods, then you get a choice between 3 of the things you want to put a point into or unlock. I unlocked a bunch of stuff, but now it's just sending me like the repeats. And so if you cancel out of it, I noticed, and I did it twice by accident. Actually, no, 3 times by accident. If you cancel out of it, it spends the blood points anyway, so you're pretty much asked out. Sucks, but that's pretty much how it is. So once you select it, and if you're playing this game, do not cancel out of it. Just select whatever is on the screen and be done with it. Whatever works for you. And then when you see one of the ones that you have equipped that you want to keep equipped, you just put points into that one, and that's pretty much it. That's the name of the game, and you get sanguine points from doing the potent blood from doing the quests that are highlighted in green. So right now I am working on the quest right here, and because there's a quest that goes with this. So I want to do the quest, but I also want to do the Midwinter's Blight. It ends in 4 days and 20 hours. So that's not a whole lot of time. So I could grind. I do have plenty of time to grind it out. So I'm kind of debating whether I should just continue with the quest here or I should go here. Oh, choices. I don't know. Season of Blood will end, and I do want to do it, but I still can get points for my tiers on here. So regardless of what I do, if I fight monsters, it'll increase randomly. And there's nothing on here that requires me to do Bloodwinter, but it is what it is. I kind of want this mount armor, though. It looks pretty neat. Strips and points. Anyways, that's pretty much where I'm at, and I'm going to get started because I am just talking my ear off without even actually playing. I just wanted to explain where I'm at. Maybe you guys get an idea of what the hell I'm doing, because obviously I am all over the place. There's so much to do. I think I'm going to go ahead and continue what I'm doing on the quest, and then I'll try to the Midwinter Blight, which hopefully I can get everything that I want unlocked for cosmetics. Crossing my fingers on that. As I said before, I only have 4 days and 20 hours, so I'll be hardcore doing it up on this if I do actually attempt to do it. It does seem like it's worth it for the experience alone, so we'll see. I'm right now on tier 3. I unlocked it. Haha! It just took an easy dungeon. It wasn't really too hard. But we're talking about somebody who actually refined his equipment for level 50 world tier 2, so we'll see how it works out. Hopefully I can survive long enough up to level 70, and then I'll just start ransacking armor builds. I actually unlocked all the slots into my stash because I had plenty of money. I had millions. So I unlocked all the stash in there, and I am just sticking equipment in there randomly. And then I'll take a look at it whenever I have the time. That's pretty much what I'm doing right now. There might be something in there that I might want. I'm not exactly sure. Some of the stuff is garbage, I know, but I want to spend more time doing the quests and the runs, so that way I don't have to worry about it till later. The actual Season of Blood quests are pretty self-explanatory. Destroy this, kill a bunch of monsters, get keys, get blood, then use the blood to 15 blood to hit the vial, fight 2 fucking monstrous little mini bosses, get the stuff you need, get out, get a key, Use key, open chest, rinse and repeat. Chests may have packs which you can put onto your armor. And that's pretty much all I got out of it so far. So, as you can see, it's a little difficult. I'm having a little bit of a rough time. I do have to use a little bit more to kill things, but that's not too big of a deal. Oh, so remember when I was saying that I didn't know how much it would take to unlock the Paragon stuff? Not much. Apparently, I already had all the maps unlocked it. So I had literally 20 Paragon points waiting for me as soon as I unlocked World Tier 3. So that was a breath of fresh air. I did put a lot of points into there at once. So hopefully I'll be able to get to the next board because I don't think I really need a whole bunch. Oh, and I also unlocked doing the Tree of Whispers. I unlocked one of those tokens that you put on the board. I'm sure you saw me do it, or if you haven't, there's tokens you get. And I got it from a reward from the Tree of Whispers. And the Tree of Whispers is basically self-explanatory. You do quests for kill a certain amount of monsters, clear dungeons, get a bunch of favors. You want to get 10 per favor, and then once you get 10, you go back to the Tree of Whisper and get a set of caches that you choose from, and then those caches will have rewards for you. I got the other skill thing from getting a legendary cache, so that's how I got that. So a lot of stuff. I was quite busy today, just testing everything out. I didn't want to go in my stream kind of blind to what I was supposed to do because I didn't want to tell anybody any incorrect information. And not to say that my streams are informative, but it's always good to like give you an idea of what I'm working on while I'm streaming, especially for games like this where it is a lot going on, especially endgame. Looks like Crest is losing his damn mind. Yeah, Crest is done. He lost his damn mind. So I'm gonna go into a dungeon that I've already been to just for this quest. But I do like the way Season of Blood works. Apparently I became a vampire.
Best to mediate the risks and take only its skull as well. Then you can drink potent blood. Zier's vampires will have plenty at their blood wells, I'm sure.
Hopefully I find the butcher. I need his pack, and unless I go and do the chest, I don't think I'm gonna get it. So I'm kind of lacking in that. Unfortunately, I don't know if I'll be able to beat a tier 3 butcher because the last time I fought the butcher, he damn near cleaned my head off. And I was on tier 2. So if I can't beat a butcher, if I run into a butcher in one of these dungeons and I can't beat him, I'll probably switch to tier 2 and do a hunt for him. Which I don't want to do because I really want to get actual tier 3 equipment.
Don't have enough energy.
Because the end goal is to get to level 100.
Need more time.
As you can hear, my dog is being a little weirdo. I tell her to say hi, but I don't want to get her out and risk the chance of her biting on my wires. She's house trained to a degree, but if she gets bored, she gets really destructive. And I don't want to go through that. I have way too many things that I spend a lot of money on, and I put a lot of work into this this collection. So I am going to be a smart owner and not put myself through that kind of pain, because really, if anything happens to my stuff, I only have myself to blame, because that was just ignorant. And I can't play my game and have her running around either. Not yet, anyway. Eventually, she'll be calmed down, and she has toys, but she just likes to get into mischief. And I mean, I exercise her daily. Like, we go out on several walks. I got this neat little toy for her for Christmas. Yeah, we gave my dog Christmas presents. I don't know why. Hey, my wife decided to give her a Christmas, but that was the thing. She was actually upset because my dog. If I say her name, she'll get a bit distracted. But she was upset because the dog wouldn't rip open the presents. I'm like, I've been telling her not to touch the tree and the presents for a while now. Like, apparently what I'm doing is working. She knows not to do that. So I don't want you to erase that out of her memory bank. She knows what's right and wrong. I mean, I understand you want to have a nice little Christmas and stuff like that, but opening presents is not for dogs. Opening presents is for humans. And a lot of people may disagree that, you know, you should treat your dogs more human-like or whatever. No, they're dogs. In my opinion, they're dogs. They need to be trained. They're hunters. They're canines. They need to be treated like canines. And while I love my dog, I have an understanding that my dog is a dog, not a person. When you say her name, it's not because she understands that that's her name. That is a command. So, and I have to explain that to my wife. So for her, she's always thought that dogs were a certain way because of, you know, they have the intelligence to think that way. But no, in all honesty, and I didn't know this, so like for me, I'm not trying to be harsh on her or anything like that. I just had to correct her way of thinking. She thought that dogs knew their name, but they don't. They know their name as a command, as in pay attention to me, look at me. So when I was training her to learn her name, I did it with treats. And that's how she understood that, hey, if that name is being called, I need to pay attention. So, and I still work on her every day with it. So sometimes what I'll do, it's kind of funny. So I'll take the treat and I'll put it right next to her head, and she wants the treat, so she's looking at the treat. And when I call her, because she knows her name now, as a command. When I call her, if she doesn't look at me, she doesn't get the treat. And if she tries to lunge for the treat, I take it back. I'm like, no. So I've been doing practices like that. Hush. I've been practicing stuff like that so that way she can stop being so distracted all the time and understand that when I call you, no matter what you're looking at, what you're paying attention to, I want you to pay attention to me. Hands off. And it's been working better. Still working on it. She's still a puppy, so it's a chore. But my wife saw me doing the training, and she thought I was being, mean. I was like, no. I know she's paying attention to Tree. I understand what she wants. I know what she wants, but she's not going to get it until she follows the command. And I'm not trying to dangle stuff in front of her face to tease her. I'm dangling stuff in front of her face so she understands the commands. I don't want her to be the kind of dog that ignores me while we're out for the sake of her safety and for the sake of the safety of others. You know what I mean? Because, at the end of the day, she's still a dog, and she's a border collie, which means that she has a tendency to herd, nip, bite. I don't want her to. I don't want her to do that to humans. I don't want her to do it at all. I know that's in her thing, but I don't want her to do that at all while we're going on walks. So I want her to understand while we're on walks, I want her to stay by my side, walk by my side, and continually walk by my side. And to not pay attention to oncoming traffic, to people walking by. I mean, she's very friendly, so she gets super excited when she sees people. She loves strangers, which is odd for me because it's a very odd behavior for a dog. And I don't know where that stems from. I'll have to do some more research on that. Maybe it's just her as a... Oh, I told you, the butcher! I was actually talking about you, Mr. Butcher. Will I survive this is an entirely different story. But yeah, it's a chore. I started taking training videos a while back when I actually got her, like a week or two after I got her, because I never trained a puppy. You know what I mean? Like I've had dogs, but I've never actually trained them. And so I started noticing some behaviors that were problematic with her, like really problematic. And I realized it's because Border Collies are natural born herders. They bite. They need to exercise and expend an enormous amount of energy to keep themselves from being bored. They have to be challenged at all times. There's a lot of things that go on with raising one. So when we got one, my wife picked her out. When we got one, my biggest worry, and this is the thought in my head, and I don't know if anybody else ever had this thought when they first got a dog, but the thought in my head is I don't want her to have her be put down because she bit somebody. Like, she was just constantly biting. And online, I'm like, they're saying that puppy biting is normal, blah blah blah, divert their attention, but that wasn't working for her. And so I had to approach it a little differently. I'm not going to go into detail of how I approached it, but she needed discipline because she was not following commands properly. She was always constantly, no matter, like, I divert her attention, and then I praised her, and I gave her all sorts of stuff, but she was just not responding to that. Like, and she does respond to treats, but not in the way that you would think. When I give her treats, I usually start by telling her it's training time. And when she knows it's training time, she knows exactly what that means. She gets ready, she gets in a position, she sits down in front of me, she looks at me, and she directs her gaze at me. So, but when we're not doing it, that's when she was giving me the most problems. And so I tried giving her puzzles, I tried taking her out, I tried exercising her, I tried a lot of things. And eventually I had to get a little heavy-handed with her because she was not doing what she was supposed to. I told her no biting, I gave her a toy, I did all sorts of things. I did everything that I've read online. And so when I tried everything, I was like, okay, I think it's about time that I need to spend some money on a training program so that way I understand what type of dog she is. And what she responds to. And I learned a lot, especially because, you know, she's not your atypical dog. She's a border collie, sure, and I'm sure there's plenty of but she's not the type of dog that is just going to sit there and listen to you. She will ignore you. She will give you attitude. She will fight you on things. And if she gets annoyed, she will lunge at you. So you have to make her understand that there are certain behaviors that are unacceptable because there are consequences beyond that action. And I've done grounding, I've done popping, and I've done a lot of things, and really the only thing that actually worked with her was popping her collar, not popping her bottom. That's not really going to work at all. That actually just causes more issues than you want, trust me. I've seen it plenty of times on videos. I've seen I've heard stories about people who are abusive to their dogs, and you're not supposed to be abusive to your dog. Popping the collar basically, it basically gives them a shock. It's kind of like electroshock therapy, but lighter. It's not actual electroshock, but it basically sends a vibration through their body to make them understand, hey, no, that is not how this is going to be. This is not how you're going to act. This is not how you're going to behave. You need to chill out. For her, she was shocked the first time I did it because she's never had me discipline her like that before. So for her, it was like I'm being attacked. So she instinctively started barking at me, and she's obviously on a leash at this point, so she couldn't run very far. And she realized that I was going to be hard, and sadly, and I didn't want to be like this with my dog, but she was just so unresponsive to everything that I was doing that eventually I had to be a little bit more heavy-handed, and yeah, I didn't want to do that for her at all. But I think what happened was my biggest mistake I think that I did was because I never had a puppy before, I gave her too much freedom. And I probably wouldn't have needed to go to that extent had I not given her the freedom that I did in the beginning when I first had her as a puppy. They need structure, they need discipline, they need to know what they're supposed to be doing, they need to keep kept busy, they need a job, which her job is to, basically I have her do like an exercise regime. That's her job. She exercises. I want her to be, I'm not sure if I want to make her a show dog or not, like I said, but I kind of want to train her to do show to a dog type stuff. So for her, she was so used to the leniency that, my God, she was just awful. She was just not having it. She did not want to hear lick of anything. I mean, I'm not kidding you. And like I said, I only had her for about a week or two before I started the training program. So, I mean, that's all it took was 2 weeks of her living with absolute freedom like she was for her to turn out to not want to listen to commands. So, you know, I'm kind of glad that I caught it in time, because I don't ever have to be heavy-handed. Now she understands, so I don't have to be heavy-handed with her anymore. Fortunately, unfortunately, I had to do that in the beginning when I started the training program. I didn't want to pop the collar. I did not want to discipline her. I did not like that, but it was my fault, and I put her in that position, and I have to take responsibility for that. That was on me, and I fully take the blame on that. But thankfully, I haven't had to do that. She's very, very receptive now, and she's a very loving dog. She will lick me in the face, she will hug me, and she gets excited to see me because I always, you know, we have fun together. But goodness gracious, man, I love my dog so much. That's pretty much how my life revolves around her. So I've had a lot of feedback from people that I talked about it with, and they disagreed with my methods. But what they don't understand is I actually got professional help from a canine behaviorist. The guy that I'm taking lessons from, he knows what he's talking about. You know, I didn't do this because I'm just want to try something new. I did this because it was a proven method and that it's actually dog psychology. So while they judge me harshly on it, and I'm sure there's plenty of yous who would, and I don't care. My dog, I worry about her. I don't want her to be put down for biting another person. I don't want her to end up in another home. I don't want her to actually have to spend thousands of dollars on somebody who's going to do the same thing I'm doing. If I want it done, I want to do it myself. You know what I mean? And I don't want to get it to that far. And there's different levels of discipline that behaviorists have to work with on that. And I read up about that. There's like 10 levels, and like she was at a level 2. So popping the collar was all I really needed to do to fix that. But she had to be on a slip leash for a while. She needed to be on the slip leash because if she didn't, she was going to go crazy, run off, pull, tug, run, lunge, just all sorts of stuff. I mean, if I told you 2 weeks of letting her have that freedom was the worst thing that I could do. Worst thing. And I didn't realize that. I wish I did. I really wish that I understood exactly what kind of damage I was doing to my relationship with my dog. You know, I'm sure she loved it, but from what I understand, when they feel like how do I explain this properly without fumbling it? So when they feel like they have to be taking charge and they have to lead and they have to make their own decisions. That's what happens. They don't want that responsibility. They don't want to be the leader, but if they feel like they have to, they take the reins. So when you start to divert that and it's a power struggle, you have to get them used to it. They're going to hate it. They're not going to respond to it at first if you give them that freedom. So it was just a back and forth pull. And I managed to break free of that back and forth pull. So she understands who's the leader. She understands that I take care of her needs. I set a schedule. I make sure that she's fed at certain times. I make sure that she gets walked on certain times. She gets a bathroom break every 3 hours twice. And I learned a lot about how to raise a dog. And so as long as she feels like there's a regimen and that I'm taking care of it, she's satisfied and happy. A lot of people deal with animals that aren't responsive because and it's because they let the dog do whatever they want.
If this is another dead end. Alive? Yes. Lucid? I don't...
Where is my... What have you done with my body, you?
We're looking for Lord Zir.
I should cut you for speaking that name, bastard. Liar, betrayer, bloodsucking monster. Live forever, he said. Oh, here I am.
Then you were his underling, and things ended badly.
Was the summer, autumn, leaves on the ground while disappearing into the city below to sleep, to wait. What will I do now?
He must be talking about the City of Ancients. It would make sense in the context of a revival.
Oh, smell him on you, trying to change you too. He reaches for ascension still. I will help you kill him. And then I will sleep.
Then he'll sleep.
A portal? I don't know if the skull even intended to do this.
Well, only one way to find out, right, folks? But yeah, I know I talked a lot about my dog in the stream, but like, I kind of want to spread awareness of what you should never do, because I did the biggest mistake ever. And if you ever get a puppy, please do not give it the freedom that you think you're giving it. Crate train it. Give it a regimen. Make sure it goes out on potty breaks. Make sure that you discipline and, if needed, correct mistakes. You know, you don't have to be heavy-handed if you do it right. You don't have to be heavy-handed if you start off from the very beginning, if they understand. Sure, it's a process where they are scared, they're anxious when they first get there, but you have to comfort them, be the leader that they need. These are things that are important, and I hope to goodness that, like, people who aren't aware, especially people who've never had dogs who plan on having them, I hope to God that you take this advice that I'm giving you, so that way you understand that
Something's coming.
I've been there, and I never want to do that again. Never. I don't ever want to put my dog through that. I never want to go through that with my dog. I'm happy she's very responsive. She's a good girl now.
I've seen
But
that barrier before.
but to correct my mistakes.
We need to get out now.
Oh. To correct my mistakes is that was a chore. Never again. Never again will I ever slip.
It's a unique ritual to get past that kind of door. And I need time to focus here and prepare it.
You aren't going to the city of mortals, are you? Take my advice. If you want to meet the Undying, you too must be undying. Fight the Bloodseekers. Cripple his forces. Make yourself his equal.
Just a moment. I've seen this before with every manner of person who thinks they can take this risk. This would change you, even more than it already has. We can find another way.
There is no other way.
No other way. No need for another way. Beat the bastard at his own game.
I have information on several Bloodseekers and their locations. Use it if you must. At least Sanctuary can be rid of them.
All right. Looks like I'm going on ahead. What is this seal? Okay, so some of these quests actually unlock vampiric powers for me. First I had 6. Which one did I get? I think it was the last one. No, it wasn't that one. There's one with a skull on it, so it's probably this one? I don't know. While channeling a skill, you form a pool of blood beneath you. While channeling a skill in a pool, your channel skill deals 20 times increased damage and you gain 30% damage reduction. Pool can only form once every 8 seconds. I have this one, but I really don't like this one. It calls a bat familiar attack a nearby enemy, dealing 316 and 474 physical attack damage with 30% chance to stun. I thought the stun would be nice, but the damage is straight garbage. And it's only one bat. So hopefully if I level it up, maybe another bat will show. I doubt it though. I think these things only have like 3 levels too. But I have some points, so now, ooh, I can upgrade. And you can see me do it. Haha! Waha! Alright, so I definitely need some more power. So these 5 things, I'm thinking is going to unlock the last 5 seals. I'm guessing. These 5 people. Oh, they're all over the place too. And they're all in dungeons. Lovely. Just flippin' lovely. Just when I thought I was done with dungeons, another set of dungeons just comes and bites its ugly head, or rears its ugly head into my face. You know what? So be it. This ends in 23 minutes. That should be plenty enough time to do at least 1 or 2 dungeons. Nah, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and give it a shot. Or, I could just kill some of these and get some more vampiric powers. That's always a possibility. So many choices, and see, this is where it gets overwhelming. That's why I put overload. Like it's in the title. It's just so much. And then there's Grim Favors. So I mean, I could do this because I'm sure there's Grim Favors involved. Yeah. Yeah, because I actually do need to do more Grim Favors for this one. I need 2 more for completing Whispers. And I need to craft some elixirs. 4 more, to be exact. So I can do that real quick. Get that out of the way. 5 elixirs is nothing. I got plenty of ingredients. Plenty. Can I craft any rare ones yet? No. Doesn't look like I can.
Ah, excellent purity.
And that should have done the wonders distilled. And I'm going to claim my rewards. Woot! Let's go check out the horsey I got. Excitement. Ooh. He looks pretty scary. Black and white horse looks like it would work well with that one. Ooh, yeah. And then how about trophies? I think the chest works. Because the other one looks like it's kind of in limbo with the chains.
Ride fast, huh?
I always find it funny that I always want to like customize my looks on cosmetics when you can barely see it unless you have a big screen, which I do. But I'm sure the people here watching, they're probably like, oh, well, I can't really tell unless you press start, then we could see it. I gave him blue and I wanted to look like Sub-Zero because I use ice. Yeah, I'm sure you guys got that. Oh, I don't know what I want to do. You know what? Enough of this vampire business. I can get to at any time. Let me see if I can get started on this. Slay the Howlers of Midwinter Blight and collect their seasonal stuff. I wonder if there is a way, or if, like, now that I completed the campaign, I could see more of it. Because I went through Kyovashad, and I didn't really meet a lot of monsters of Midwinter Light, per se, and I'm not getting, like, tokens or anything like that, so I'm kind of disturbed in that aspect. Maybe I have to go here? Yeah, I don't care if the portal's closing. It's fine. It's okay. It's fine. It's fair. It's whatever. See, all I see are arsonists, marauders. Nobody's giving me anything. I don't even think there's a quest involved with this.
I'm not ready.
Here are my vampire powers. Would you please stop with this? Okay, now I'm seeing some stuff, I guess. Oh, okay, I'm getting blighted fragments now. Alright, that works. I'm okay with that. So I guess they're just random? Doesn't transfer into anything right away, though. Do I have to kill a certain amount of people before I get it? Oh, maybe I should do more research on it and see. Or maybe it's something that's timed and it doesn't really... Or maybe it's all over. I don't know. There's no way of telling. Stupid warg. I have a few quests that I need to finish off, and I would like to get the titles for those. Not that I have any quests popping up right now. I think they might be drop quests, where they just drop from monsters and random things, which I'm kind of annoyed by that, because that means that there's certain quests that I cannot do unless I fully just break everything that I see that has a name on it. I hate that. I hate that with a passion. It's so cheap. It's extremely cheap. Okay, I'm getting blighted fragments left and right. Do I go to the jeweler and turn them into these gems? See, I'm getting the blighted fragments. But how many blighted fragments do I need? And do they have to say blight feeds? I'm guessing they do.
I need more time.
Come here, treasure goblin. Don't you run away from me. Get back over here.
I'm not ready.
Did I kill it? Well, got quite a bit. Did I go to the out? Who did I go to change that into that, though? Would it be this guy? Man, I wish I would have actually read that and paid attention. But I was so in the middle of like trying to do the campaign that I didn't really think it was necessary either. So there's that. Hey, you know it would be nice if you could drop some potions for me.
I need more time.
I want to help you, but I don't care. You're going to turn into a monster anyway. Go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep.
Wouldn't have made it without you.
Oh, nice. Okay, so helping villagers does help. Maybe I won't be such a douche canoe next time. Get back over here. I want some more Blightfiend stuff. It seems to me that nothing I do is gonna hurt me. I've been through here before. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And anything that says Blight Fiend gives me these shards. I just got these fragments, so I just gotta figure out. I just gotta figure out where. Kind of seems kind of silly to just endlessly run around killing things in just one area. Hey there, buddy. So if I took at my stats and materials, earned by exchanging event materials, blighted fragments, lost heirlooms, red cloak trophy at Midwinter Square's collection table. Okay, so let's give this a shot. See if I have enough. See how much I need. Some of that's pretty expensive, like we're talking 50 for the back trophies. Okay, this just sells this. Blighted fragments. At 275. How much does 275 give me? Let me read the explanation again. Because it should. What is this? A sacred nightmare. Oh yeah, this actually gives me a nightmare thing. Not really interested in that though.
I can't afford that. Not in town.
Okay, I'm confused. What do I do with this? Do I need to do some reading? How do I exchange those things? Because it says on the thing that I give it to earned by exchanging event materials, blighted fragments, lost heirlooms, red cloak trophy at the Midwinter Square's collection table. Collection table.
Not in town.
There's a collection table? Midwinter Square collection table? This is throwing me off. Oh, okay. Collection table. I need 300 for one. 30 for that. How do I get a red cloak trophy? So this does take quite a bit. That's a lot of killing there, buddy. You're killing me on this one. Let's try an area that might give me a good amount. I'll go here. We'll see where this takes me. Cause 300? That's insanity. That means I'm a few days too late, because that would take a very long time to do. And I'd rather focus on the seasonal stuff and just say F the back trophies. I might want the dagger. That might be something nice. If I can find a sure way to get the red trophies, that would help. If I can find a way, because if all I need is one trophy, then I can farm that trophy and we can be done and over with this pretty quickly, as long as it doesn't take forever. Oh, I'm sorry, goat. I didn't mean to kill you. That was not my intention. I mean, these Bright Fiend Bruisers seem to be giving me plenty, but look how long it takes me to kill one. Oh, level 62. Things are about to get a little hard. Just a little bit. Where shall I get my trophy? Well, I think by now I got enough to get one. That is it. That is all I'm getting out of that is one. Let's see if this actually gives me a whole bunch. I don't see any. Oh, that's weird. Nothing with much of light here. This might be a waste. Got diamond fragments. 100. Enough for 1 diamond. Slay all enemies in the College of Light. You know, nothing says dealing with bull like dealing with all this bull. Just how many enemies are in here? And why am I reopening doors that I already opened? Hello?
I'm not ready yet.
Well, I can't say no to murmuring obols. Definitely need some. After buying all those keys? Yeah. Yeah. Well, I gave it the good old college try, but I don't think that anything came out of that. Is there any other place that may have got plenty of stuff that I may need later? I could go after this guy. This might be a dungeon I'm missing anyway. Wouldn't hurt to do it anyway. Alright, let's give it a go college try. Let's do it. Let's go beat Chaz, aka Chad, aka Young Money, Moolah, Baby. College of Light. Never going back there again. Well, actually, that was pretty simple, and I did get quite a bit of Murmuring Obols from that, so I might do it. But then again, the rewards that I'm getting from the tree and of Whispers and everything else is pretty nice, too. Oh, I almost forgot. I gotta put in my ability. Yep. Super important that I do that. Being overpowered has its benefits. It does. I promise. Okay, so this will be the last rare node, and then I can go for my legendary node, which is No Witnesses. Your ultimate skills gains an additional 10% damage from your damage with ultimate bonus, and grant this bonus to all skills for 8 seconds when cast. Current bonus, 1%. Sorry, I had to make it sound epic for some reason. I know I've mentioned this before, but it's so weird hearing my voice. But when I do the sound effects, or like different voices, it sounds like the voice I'm hearing. But like when I hear myself talk, my normal talk, it doesn't sound the same. If that makes any sense. It's very weird. It throws me off. Come on, Blight Beams. Give me some moolah. Thank you, Blighted Fragments. Even though you're not really doing anything for me. Appreciate it. Good to know that I have to collect, like, what's 300 times 50? Too much. That's how much it is. The lost heirlooms are coming from those. Okay, so I can clear out 30 of those for one, even though I only see once in a blue moon. Maybe I should do some research and see where I can farm them better. I'm heavily annoyed at how long it takes to get one token. It makes me sick. I'm halfway tempted to do like tier 1. They just blow through all of these, clear every enemy I see in sight, and just take the easy street. Just nice and easy.
Need more time.
Where are you going? I want your treasure, goblin. I'll take that sword, thank you. Back up. So, I've only met a few. So, I remember when I was... I don't know if you guys remember, but remember when I was talking about the build and how I might have to tweak it depending on what it does later on? So, I have noticed that my build is actually holding up pretty strong in Tier 3. I've only met a few that are immune to Frost, so I'm curious to see how well and far. And it's only the unique elites, and since there's barely any that have the same unique traits, I might be able to hold on to this build. Might. And most of the time, crowd controlling is for like lesser monsters anyway, but it does suck when an elite doesn't get affected or chilled by my caltrops. That drives me nuts. So the good thing is I haven't done this dungeon, so I feel like this is necessary. I can't believe I missed it. No, I can believe it.
What is this?
A quest? Alright, this is Horse Honky. Ooh! I'm at tier 57! Sweet niblets on fire, I'm getting ahead. Only 33 more tier levels to go, which may not seem like a lot, but considering how long it took me to get there. It's still quite a bit. Woohoo! 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 I'm almost tempted to spend that $10 like super fast, like super quick, almost. Woohoo! 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 I'm sucking at whistling. You know what kind of whistle I would love to learn, but I still can't master, no matter how many tries? Like, I don't understand exactly how it works. Because for me, like, my normal whistle is not like the type of whistle that most people use. But I want to do the two-finger whistle, because those are really loud. I just can't master it for whatever reason. It's the same thing that bothers me, because I can't roll my R's. To this day, I still cannot roll my R's. And I get made fun of for that, too. Believe it or not. Because I'm Spanish. And I can't roll my R's, it's become quite the debacle. I get made fun of for that stuff. I'm not even kidding you. Alright, you blood bombs are gonna have to stop. Driving me nuts with that. Take your walling behind out of my face. Yeah. A Hispanic that can't roll his R's. And you know who likes to dig it in and give me hell about it? My wife. Because she can roll her R's.
Need more time.
She even goes as far as saying, looks like I'm more Spanish than you are. Look at you, motherfucker. Like, how dare you? How dare you mock me and my lack of ability to be a Spanish person? And I tell her, at least I can speak Spanish. So there. At least I'm bilingual. I always wanted to be trilingual. And I know it's atypical of a geek like me, but I always wanted to finish learning how to speak Japanese. You know, back in the day when I was a kid, I lived in New York, and they offered a Japanese class, language class that I took for, how many years? I want to say 4 years I took it, and it was fun. I actually enjoyed it quite a bit. I learned a lot about the Japanese culture. I know I learned a little bit of the language. But like with all things, like for example, and this is throwing it off because I'm not giving you any context, but you'll understand what I'm speaking. So when you take a Spanish class, you're generally learning the proper way to speak Spanish. So that's Spanish without any kind of slang in it. Right? You're learning Spanish that they speak in Spain. You're not necessarily learning the way they speak it in Mexico. And believe it or not, you may think that that's not a big deal, but there's like quite a dialect difference between Spain Spanish, which they call Castellano, and Spanish that they speak in Mexico, Puerto Rico, and Cuba. And they have their own type of words, so like, more often than not, what you find is that some of the words that you think means one thing in Spanish actually means completely something different, and sometimes perverse in Mexican, Puerto Rican, Cuban, Dominican language. It's quite hilarious.
I can't carry anymore.
There's a varying difference between the languages that people who are just getting to Spanish don't understand, and it's actually pretty hilarious. So, when I was working in construction, and this is not me calling out Mexicans, but a lot of Mexicans in America work construction or lawn maintenance or labor jobs that most people don't want to do. So, I met a lot of Mexicans, and when I tried to speak Spanish with them, a lot of them seemed confused. Like, I mean, not a good confused, like, what the hell did you just say, motherfucker? Like, one of those, just like looking at me with disdain for what I've said, and I'm just like, oh, what did I say wrong? And so, I met this old guy, very nice man. He was not fully a citizen. He was still going through his citizenship and stuff like that. Yeah, a legal one. And so we were talking, and he was saying, okay, so when you tell me this, I feel like you're disrespecting me, even though I know that you're not, because I know better. I've been in this country for a while, so I've met all sorts of manners of Spanish people. He's like, so when you say this means this. So it was kind of like, it was enlightening, to say the least. So I started to learn the mannerisms of Mexican language. I don't tend to speak Mexican. I try to stay as Castellano as possible because I don't want to accidentally offend somebody. So when you speak it, they generally know that, hey, they're not speaking in the slang that we're talking about. He's speaking in Castellano. So that helps. But to get back to what I'm saying is like, but there's also slang in Japanese. And then from what I remember in Japanese class, and I don't know if this still is the way it is in Japan today, but there is a respect factor that I learned when you're speaking. So like, there are several things that mean the same thing, but how you say it and where you say it matter a lot. So you have to be really careful, especially when talking to your elders, because respecting your elders is big over there from what I remember. You kind of have to be very, very particular about how you talk to certain people. Like, because some may take it as rude because either you're being too personal or you're not being personal enough. So it's always been a thing of mine where I always wanted to learn, but there's so much to learn, to grasp, that I kind of gave up like halfway. Besides, like, and I wish they would have kept going because maybe I would have stuck with it. I wish they would have offered Japanese when I got into junior high and high school, but they didn't. They offered French and Spanish, but I didn't really see a point in taking Spanish because I already learned Spanish. If I was to do Spanish, it would be to learn how to read and write in Spanish. Like, I get the gist of it. I can read it. But sometimes it throws me off. And I don't know if any other bilingual person is like this, but like for me, when I start reading in Spanish, I have to start thinking in Spanish, or else I can't grasp it. Like, I can't grasp what I'm reading. Like, I can pronounce it, and I can read it out loud, but I have to think in Spanish in order to understand what exactly I'm reading if I'm reading it aloud. And sometimes I find myself reading the same sentence over and over, like I am slow when it comes to reading Spanish. Because it is not my first language, it's my second language. My first language is English, because I was born here, and I learned Spanish through my mother, and she never actually sat there and taught me how to read and write it. It was more of, I just want you to know so you can actually communicate with the family members kind of thing. One time I was such a bad ass that my mom was like, I can't take you anymore, so she sent me to my aunt. And my aunt lives in Puerto Rico. And boy, oh howdy, was that a shock to me. When I tried to speak to them in Spanish, I fumbled so badly that my aunt made fun of me all the time. And she used to call me Carabicho. So if you don't know what that means, it means dick face. And she used to call it to me all the time, and I didn't understand that until I got older, because I didn't know what bicho was. Because my mom always referred to it as my wibbles, as in like the whole thing, the penis and the balls, they were referred to as wibbles. And normally, if she was talking about that, she would tell me to clean them, as in slang as, you know, go wash your ass, like you would say in English. She would say, lava tu huevos, vete. So. So this whole time I was living it up in Puerto Rico, and my aunt was calling me dick face the whole time, and I had no clue. No clue whatsoever. Stop breaking that. I am totally gonna throw this out. I'm supposed to hold on to this for 40 seconds? Fuck no. I don't even know why I would even put the effort in. I don't have anywhere the strength I need to actually defend this thing properly.
I need more time.
And that was it. I failed. I got some foot and blood. So that's... In the end, I got some. I guess I can spend some of this. It was a great time, though. My aunt was a wonderful person, and I miss her dearly. She passed a while back ago, so that was pretty unfortunate for me. I took those news really badly. I did not take that well. I bawled. She was a very, very nice lady, despite her mannerisms. She was rough around the edges, but she was still a sweet lady, and I miss her a lot. I wish that I could have spent more time with her. But I'm here, and she was in Puerto Rico, so it was kind of hard. It was very hard. It's not like I could just make. At the time, I was a kid, so she died when I was an adult. I think I was. I want to say I was 30, but I was going through some hard times, so I couldn't actually spend the time that I wanted to. It was very unfortunate. It's actually quite depressing now that I think about it. But the wonderful thing is that, like, not too long after that happened, I met my wife, so some good came out of it, I suppose. Doesn't make me miss her any less, though. But yeah, I'll always remember her calling me Dick Face, though. I'm guessing that was her way of calling me a dickhead, but I guess in Puerto Rico it's just gotta eat you. Just kind of rolls off your tongue. I always found like the private parts in Spanish have always been named something differently depending on where you are. So it was entertaining to say the least. I always found it hilarious, the different ways that it was spoken to, or the way it was, what words they were. I guess you could say. I'm saying that wrong, but it was entertaining, to say the least. I enjoyed it. Apparently I killed, without realizing, Chazbak, but I didn't get a new ability, so I'm guessing that's not how it works with this one. Could you please die already? Thank you.
The cathedral refused to tell us the knights penitent are either dead or roaming the cold monstrosities. I watched them for days until I found one that had my father's name.
Whoa!
I approached and pleaded with him to come home. The creature that had been my father attacked me, and I sent him to escape.
Well, that's messed up, though. Fun. I always thought that I played video games as an escape. But I find myself remembering things. Like, so I always think about things that happened in the past. It's kind of like reminiscing. In a way, like, I guess that is reminiscing. I reminisce a lot when I'm playing video games. It's kind of funny, it's random thought, but I guess I'm just opening up and just talking out my butt while I'm playing, so since I have you here as watching, but I like, for me, I guess video games really isn't an escape. I just enjoy doing it. It kind of gives me nostalgia, and I like to think about the good times. It is still a distressor for me, sure, but it does allow me to reminisce about the good times that I used to have, and not necessarily escape reality, because reality is still there kicking my butt every day. The reality is, I ain't getting any younger. I wish that I could retain my youth longer. Especially when I meet douche canoes. There was this guy I used to work with. He was younger than me. He used to always remind me that I was an old fart. And according of like in comparison to him, I might have been. Like I don't feel like an old fart, but he always pointed out that I was so old and that my way of thinking was ancient and outdated. Which I thought was kind of douchey of him, but like I mean, he wasn't the first person to be like that with me. My outdated way of thinking is not new age, and then I'm stuck in. Look, maybe I am, but I always feel like what goes around comes around when it comes to stuff like this. Like, you always circle back, and eventually you're in the position where I'm at, and your way of thinking will always be wrong to the newer generation. Because I can still remember a time where my thought process was considered relevant. But I found it hilarious because, like, he kind of chastised me in a way for thinking, like, alright, so this guy was a total horn dog. And when I was younger, I was too. But I've met plenty of people who were horn dogs, okay? And I from what I remember, it was always kind of looked down upon to be promiscuous, per se, when I was growing up, but people were still promiscuous. And for the most part, people judged. I wasn't one of them, but there were people who judged. Well, he was particularly one of those guys who I would consider what you would call a fluff boy, or, you know, trying to stop the swearing, but it's not working out for me. It doesn't work. But he basically, he was a fuck boy, and he got offended when I called him that. But that's what he was. Like, dude, I mean, all he did was, like, he bragged about how much booty he was getting. Well, not so much brag, but talked about it a lot. And he was constantly jumping from woman to woman, and like, I thought this generation was all, like, his generation was all about, you know, respecting women and all that other stuff, and what he was doing was disrespecting it. And so there was plenty of disrespect towards women, and you still see sexism to this day, unfortunately. But, like, for me, I try to be a better person, especially since I'm married and have a daughter. I found it weird that the way he was literally how a piece of crap was back in the day. And he said it was normal, that I was just an old fart.
Have you seen a man named Julik?
No.
What? Let me see this note. Where did you get this? I must go after him. Julik, my love. I'll find him. I swear it. Please, tell me where I can find him.
He's dead. Well, at least she doesn't need to know that. Well, he's dead. Woman, come on, pull it together. Pull it together. Anyways, I'm jumping all over the place with these conversations. My brain is like shooting all over the place because I'm trying. My brain is scattered here in Diablo. I'm not even sure if I want to continue doing the midwinter blight because of the insane amount of grinding it would take to even do this. I see people still doing it. But yeah, it's not looking like I'm gonna complete this anytime soon. I mean, I got two. What the fluff? You know what 2 gets me? Nothing. I can get a Midwinter Purse and Gillian's Brew. And this a bounty of gold. And this one is an elixir that increases 15. This is a good one. It's actually pretty decent. I might jump back onto it later, but I don't think I want to continually do it because it's kind of getting a little infuriating that it takes too much. It's a huge grind. Like, and I know this game is grindy, but I only have 4 days. What am I going to do in 4 days if it takes that long to get that much? Because I'm pretty sure I got some of that blight from when I was first starting the game and I was exploring the whole map. It doesn't even seem very well worth it. I'll just stick to the Season of Blood. I might use the experience potion if I feel like my experience is kind of lacking. But I'm actually consistently gaining level ever since I hit tier 3, so I'm not complaining too much. And now that I've completed the campaign, as soon as I hit level 70, I'll probably refine my equipment once more through the Murmuring Ovals and whatnot. And I'll jump onto tier 4 right after, instead of worrying about map clearing and doing the campaign, because that's all done. Right now, it's all grinding at this point. Do you mind? I'm moving around here and you're interrupting me. Appreciate it if you stop. Just stop. Goodness. So I've been on here for a while, so I've talked a lot about myself. Probably more so than I've talked in a while about myself. And I talked about my dog. Goodness gracious. I have a lot of things on my mind. But anyways, I was talking about the douche canoe and how everything always circles back and stuff. Call him a douche canoe. I can't get over the slang. Speaking of that, like, he also made me aware that my slang was kind of old and kind of weird. And when I tried to repeat the slang, it made him cringe because I don't say it correctly, which I don't know what that means per se. I mean, look, I was never good at slang in the first place, even with my time slang. But I look back at it though, and it's so stupid that I feel embarrassed if I even tried to speak my old way of slang. It seems so dumb looking back. So I don't even want to talk like that. Like, I don't mind understanding it, but to talk like that, it just seems pretty damn awkward. Like, it doesn't seem like something that I want to... It's not like something that I want to personify for myself anyway. I think I would lose my sanity. Like, Cap, I don't think that I could ever significantly use the word cap. But since I've grown, in the 38 years that I've lived, I have lived to see many forms of slangs come and go. And the longer I live, the dumber it sounds. No offense to you young folks. I just prefer to speak clearly and eloquently. I don't need to sound cool. I'm not interested in being cool. If I was cool, I wouldn't be playing video games right now, would I? Because apparently only losers play video games. Whatever that means.
I'm not ready.
Which, fine. If that's what I am, that's what I am. Not upset about it. not gonna gripe about what somebody says about the way I am or who I am, what my hobbies and interests are. You know, I'm not super successful, but at the same time, I'm happy. And I'm not trying to be extremely successful. Like, there's a lot of sacrifices there it takes. Like, if you ever like talk to people who are successful, they sacrificed a lot of their family time, a lot of their time. You know, you kind of want to. There has to be like some sort of balance. Like, I don't want to be a bum per se. I don't want to like live off the government by any means. No, absolutely not. My mom did that, and there's some freedoms that you give up just being like that, you know, and privacy and people telling what to do and how to live and where to live and how to raise your children. Like, that to me just doesn't sound like something I'd be interested in doing ever. Man, these Bloodseekers are powerful. But, I don't necessarily want to sacrifice my happiness either to become successful. The chase of the money alone may excite people, but it does not excite me. Like, I like money. I like to spend money. I like to have money. But money does not define who I am and what I do for a living and what I prefer to do with my life. And I'm not chasing after anybody. I'm married happily. So, you know, it is what it is. She likes money, and she will work hard for it. And she works hard for her money, and she will put in the hours. But she sacrifices something, and she knows it. To her, whether the sacrifice is worth it or not, that's something you have to ask her. Like, and it changes from the day-to-day basis, because that's just who she is. It's pretty funny. But yeah, like, I remember hearing, and I'm not gonna call out names, I remember hearing somebody who was really popular, really famous, say that. And to me, like, he's been through quite a bit, and he's done some stuff that he shouldn't be doing. But he sacrificed a lot of himself for what he's done. And he's not happy. And he said he's not happy. The difference between him and I is that I'm happy. See what I'm saying? So, if being a loser is being happy, then I will be a loser. See what I'm saying? So, I mean, and I'm not calling him out. I like, to each their own, and let live. Love and let live, and you do what you do. Whatever life you live is your choice. I'm not going to sit here and judge you based on your life choices. That is not my job. And I'm certainly not going to compare myself with somebody who has a more successful life than I do. Because that would be ludicrous. That would just defeat the purpose of what I'm saying. All I'm saying is, I'm happy. You know, and I can honestly say that. You know, there's a lot of things that upset me. There are a lot, and sometimes I feel depressed about things. And I think that's just natural, you know, for me anyway. I don't need medication. I just need time to process my life. And sometimes it creeps up on me and I have to just work through it, you know? I just have to sit there, bear it, and take it day by day. Sometimes it affects me to the point where it's crippling. But I snap out of it after a while, you know. Not everybody can do that, and for some people they need medication. But for me, I can honestly say it doesn't. The longest it takes is like 2 months to get over, but I still do my thing. I don't let it. I try not to let it affect me too much. But when I'm not feeling that way, I'm pretty content. Like I'm good. I'm so grateful for everything that I have, and I'm so happy that I have it because there was a time where I didn't, you know, and I can always look back and just be like, yeah, life sucks sometimes, but at least it wasn't like it was before. Not to call anybody out or anything like that, but you know, in my previous marriage before this one, I wasn't very happy, and the one before that, I wasn't happy. I'm glad that I found somebody who... I don't want to start an event right now. I should. It's got those blood stuff. I need potent blood. I think I got some right now. No, I have none.
Separated. My friends were cut down. I won't last on my own.
And it took me... Sorry, I was distracted. It took me quite a while to get to this point, okay? So, like... I'm not saying this is something that happens immediately. I'm not saying that this can happen to you. It took me 38 years to finally get where I wanted to be, to have the happiness that I have. You know, 38 years. 38 long years. It took me a while. But I wanted to give up a lot of times. Like, I just said, you know, man, I don't want to do it anymore. You know, I've said that so many times, but I still did it. I still pushed through. I still, you know, I had my hiccups here and there, but I still... Damn it. I'm not powerful enough for this yet. I didn't get very many murmuring obols for that either. Plenty of potent bloods though. Woot! I'll take that. That's enough for a couple of things. Nothing I wanted though. Damn you, range. You suck. And I'm not a professional, so I'm not going to sit here and tell you how to be happy. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that what you're doing is wrong and whatnot, whatever. Like, the only thing I can honestly say to you is keep going, keep pushing, don't give up, even when you want to, even when you feel like you want to give up, don't. Just push yourself, even at the cost of your sanity. Just push yourself. Keep going, because honestly, sometimes even when you don't feel like anything's worth living for, you're gonna find something if you keep trying. You're going to. I mean, that's just... Eventually, you will get there. I don't know how long it's going to take for you. I can't speak for that. I can't say that my method of getting out of my own head, it works for everybody, because it won't. Everybody's different. I'm not saying that your pain is harder than mine, or that my pain is harder than yours, because that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. And I'm only saying this because I've heard this stuff. Like, I can remember a time when I was talking about it to one of my old friends. They're not my friend anymore, obviously, but I can remember a time I was talking to them, and they they made it about themselves, and that wasn't helpful at all. Like, well, how did they put it? They were like, well, at least you didn't have to go through this and that and this and that, and I'm just like, but why are you comparing? This is not a fucking rat race, you know what I mean? Like, this is not something that I want to compare myself to. I don't want to talk about who suffered the most out of both of us. That's stupid. That's the most ignorant thing you could do. I should probably pop these. Like, that's not something you do. If you ever meet anybody who has depression, don't do that. Do not make it about you. If you're gonna listen, listen. If not, just tell them, look, I understand you're going through a hard time with it, but I'm not the right person to talk to because I don't know how to react towards this, or, you know, if there's any way that I can help that doesn't require me to be your mental soundboard, I'd be more than happy to. I'm just not the right person for this. You know, be honest. Sometimes honesty goes a long way. Ooh, he is taking the hits. I don't think you like my blood very much, Mr. Blood Bishop. Think you bit off more than you could chew. Dungeon complete. I'll take that. I didn't explore all of it, but whatever. I already beat this dungeon before. I just felt like if I was going to do it, I might as well finish it. I mean, it sucks hearing that, especially for somebody who's gone through it. It sucks to hear that from somebody when you need the help and stuff like that, but it's better that they tell you flat out, hey, I don't think that this is something that I should be doing. I'm not a professional. I don't think that I can talk to you about this without comparing it to myself, because that's just how the kind of person. I don't know how you would go about it, but sometimes it's just best to be honest about it. If you really do care and you want to help them, give them the ear if they want a response. You know, more than that sucks. I'm sorry to hear that. If they want more from that and they seem frustrated that you won't give them more than that, please remind them that you are not a professional and there's some things you don't have any idea what to do. And I tell you this because my wife did the same thing to me. All right, my current one. You know, she's socially awkward at times, but she was honest with me and she told me, she's like, I love you, I care about you, I don't want you to feel this way, I wish there was something I could do to make you feel better, but there's nothing I can do to make you feel better. If there is, you let me know what I can do, but I can't really divulge the emotions or give you what you're looking for in this conversation, you know, and that was hard to hear, but it was honest and it was true. And she made a point, it was valid. There's nothing I could say about it because I knew she was right. Hands down, she was right. She's not the kind of person who can relate to people emotionally. She just can't. She's not that type of person. She's tough. She's removed socially because she's awkward, and she's just built differently. So she can't help me. So you know what I asked her for? Just give me a hug. Hold me and let me cry. Let me cry about it. Just hold me, be there. Just listen. That's all I need you for. I told her exactly what I needed from her, and she did it. And it helped. You know, and I had this conversation with her not too long ago, I think about 2 or 3 years ago, when I was at my breaking point. Like, I was just, I was losing it, man. Like, I was done. I had the back injury and all this other stuff happening, and the move, and taking on a responsibility for the puppy and stuff like that. It was just so much. You know, it was just a lot to take in, a lot of changes, and I just was not mentally prepared for it. So she was there. Even though I was angry and I was yelling and I was crying, she was there. She didn't take offense to it. She was very understanding. And sometimes that's all we really need when we're feeling that way. Some people need more. Like I said, not for everybody. You know, it may not make it all go away, but it takes the edge off. You know what I mean? Just knowing somebody loves you and cares about you, that helps. Are you guys done yet? Damn, spiders are everywhere. Excuse me, would you not explode in my face like that? I feel like I'm a mental... I'm talking about a lot of like problems and mental problems and stuff like that, and I feel kind of awkward about it sometimes because I know I'm not a professional, so I hate digging too deep, but I do have experience in feeling the way I felt, and you know, it's therapeutic to talk about. I'm not trying to give advice by any means. Please do not take this as advice. This is not what I'm going for. I'm not trying to tell you how to live your life. I just feel like talking about it for me helps to vent about the things and the pain that I went through growing up and now, you know, because like I feel like even though I'm grown up and I'm an adult, I don't feel grown up. And I'm sure a lot of adults can kind of vibe with that where, you know, I still feel like I'm the same person I was 20 years ago. Like, I don't feel any different mentally. I feel different physically. That is it. That's as far as it goes. And physically, not in a good way. So I think that we're all little kids pretending to be adults to be socially accepted. That's what I feel like sometimes. It's just I hate it. I thought that like growing up something would just magically click. But all I've really changed is my outlook and how I treat people. I'm kinder. I'm more respectful. I know that there are people out there who have it worse than I do, and I try to be as understanding as I possibly can about situations. Now, I don't let that take me to the point where I'm taken advantage of, because I have been taken advantage of. I've let it get that far before. I will never let it happen again. I know better now, so... You know, I look for signs. You know, there are people out there, and this is no attack on anybody in particular. There are people out there who seek attention. Whether they try to receive positive attention or negative attention, that's entirely up to them. But they still seek attention. They want to be noticed. They want to be talked to. They want to have people focus their lives around them. They want to be the center of attention. And sometimes they do it unhealthily. And it's unfortunate. And these people sometimes will ask for help. And then they really don't need the help, and you find out that they don't need the help. They're just trying to get something free out of you, or trying to cause some problems between you and somebody else. You know, there's so many reasons. Everybody's different, obviously, but yeah, I'm not playing that game no more. Like, I want to make friends online and chat, but I like that my inner circle is small. I do like that. I like that I don't have too many people to deal with, too many feelings to worry about, too many emotions to deal with. It's just a lot, you know. I'm not saying that all friends are like that, but the friends I've made were, and I just doesn't feel good to me to deal with that. It's not healthy. I don't like it. Not at all. I wonder if I'm going to meet the butcher again. I feel like a butcher's coming.
I'm not ready.
I'm actually surprised I beat the butcher last time. I really doubted myself on this one. I really did. I'm glad that I was wrong. Or, right? What was I saying? I'm just rambling at this point. I think this will be the last dungeon I put on the stream because it's getting to that time. It's almost doggy walk time. I gotta make sure she's taken care of. That poor thing. What would she do without me? Probably pee all over my floor. I have to say though, recently, just recently, because I'm talking about my dog now, this dog decided to pee on the couch. Alright, now keep in mind that I take my dog on regular walks every day. I was sitting on the couch next to her, just petting her, just letting her do her thing as a dog. You know, I was just brought her up to me, and I was giving her some lovin's, because we just went for a walk, like not even 20 minutes before, and we played some toys, and we were doing our thing. Is this motherfucker, and I say this lovingly, she decides that it was a good idea to pee on my couch. And I'm right there. I'm like, are you kidding me right now? Like, have you lost your damn mind? Like, we have gone through this before. Why are you doing this now? Like, what possesses you to think that this is okay? In what universe was this alright? Like, and she's a female, so I'm not sure if she was doing it to mark her territory or what, but I was not amused. I was just like, are you trying to test your boundaries with me? Have you lost your ever-loving mind? Like, you do realize that we have gone over this a lot. And let me tell you something. There are a lot of things that I take blame for as far as her. Like, I will take responsibility if I didn't walk her on a timely basis, if I wasn't paying attention to her, if I wasn't, you know, there's a lot of things that I would take blame for when it comes to her, because 9 times out of 10, it's my fault. But this certain occasion, this motherfucking dog decided to pee on my couch while I was petting her. And I looked at her and I was like, you bitch, like, how dare you? Like, why would you do this to me? Now I gotta clean this, and I somehow have to punish you, and I don't know what I'm gonna do right now because I am so upset. I'm like visibly ill about this. Like, I'm just like, why? Why? I literally just taken you out. I've literally just played with you. I literally did everything right. Why did you do this? So you know what I did? I decided, and she stopped doing it. She nipped it in the bud because she knew she messed up. I had this stool right here. She's still a puppy, so she's not like big enough to get down off of high heights, and she knows it. She's hurt herself already, and it was accidental. I don't think it was something that she meant to do, but she cried about it and she hurt her leg, but she was okay. I had her look and get looked at, whatever, and she was fine. No bruising, no nothing. She just a little sprain. It wasn't even bad enough for her to take forever to heal on. Oh, you son of a bee! Those bloodseekers killed me. Bastards. So I have this this long seat kind of thing right here next to me, and I sat her on there for the rest of the day. She didn't get no toys. All she got was a bone to chew on so she can be occupied. She hated it. Hated it. Oh man, she was just whining up a storm. And every time she got up, I said sit. She couldn't move. She knew she messed up. That was the only thing I could think of. Like, I was just like, how do you get them to understand that this is not okay? You take everything away from them. You take their toy and their in-home playtime, and you rob them of it. She knew, and she did it. She did it one more time. I wasn't watching her at the time, so I can't really tell you exactly how it happened. Because my wife she was taking care of her. I was doing the stream, and she was taking care of her for me. I asked her, I was like, could you keep an eye on her? I want to do the streams. I want to do some streaming. I want to do a back-to-back stream. She said, yeah, of course, honey. Of course I'll do that. I don't mind. So she's taking care of her, and she comes in here, and she's upset. She's like, you would not believe what she did. She pooped right next to the air conditioning. And I said, oh? I said, were you paying attention to her? Were you keeping your eye on her? She's like, yeah. I was like, I'm not accusing you of anything per se. Look, I'm just making sure we covered our bases and find out if it's our fault or her fault and go from there. She's like, why is that? I was like, because I'm not going to punish her for something that's our fault that we should have been doing. We should have kept an eye on her. Do you feel like you were keeping an eye on her? That to the point where it should be punished? She's like, I only left the room for a little bit. Like, she's like, I'm not even like a minute. I was trying to use the bathroom. I was like, and she didn't follow you? She's like, I called her. She came in, she ran out, and she was playing with her ball. She like, I didn't think anything of it. I was like, well, because like generally when dogs poop, they sniff around first, and it takes them a minute to find a place they want to poop. She's like, I'm telling you, there's no way in heck. I was like, all right. Well, I was like, just making sure I will punish her. So I did it again. Crying like a baby. I knew I found the perfect groundation tool while she's still a puppy. Just seclude her from everything. All she has is her and her bone. The one thing that my dog hates more than anything is being left to just having one thing to do and just sitting still. She cannot stand it. She hates it. She absolutely hates sitting still. Let me tell you something. You try to hold this dog in one place for too long, and she's going to nip at you. She's going to, and I have to basically correct her because it's not okay. But she will nip at you out of anger, and I know she will. She gets really testy really fast when it comes to being held in one place. We have this harness that has a handle on the back of it that we put her in, so that way we can hold her in place in case she wants to, do something she's not supposed to, or if I need her to sit still and I'm trying to socialize her with something. So I have the handle there in place. So like when I keep her there, she goes like this. She kind of just like she's going for my hand, and she realized like what she's doing last second, like because instinctually she wants to bite you. She does not like it. She hates being stuck in one place, and it's hilarious. It's a beautiful thing, though. It really is. So that's my story. But ever since then, she'll go up to the door. She will not even remotely even try me with that craziness. I don't play that stuff either. Heck no, man. The way I see it is, if you're doing this out of territorial sake, this is not your territory. This is my territory. Mine. Not yours, mine. You have no business doing your business on my floor. That's basically, that's my mentality on that whole situation. And definitely not on my couch. Definitely not on my couch. Absolutely not. But anyways, I think I've spoken for a long time. I should end the stream because I really need to take her out for a walk. I kind of want to finish this dungeon up, but it seems like it's taking way too long. I don't want to spend too much time on here. So let me end the stream. Ooh, it's bright. So let me end the stream and say thanks for listening. Thanks for hanging out with me and listen to me vent and talk and chat about things that may trigger you or not. It doesn't really matter to me. I don't really care if you don't like it. You don't, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's my life, and I'm just speaking on it from experience. But if you do enjoy the conversation, hey, come by again. We'll talk some more. Diablo brings that out of me. I don't know what I think it's the music. I think that's what it is. All fun and games go out, and I start just thinking deeply while I'm grinding away at monsters and trying to fill in quests and do all these things that are driving me crazy, absolutely bonkers. I really hope that those blood killers that killed me was not one of the people I needed to murder. That would suck. Just saying. That would suck. Anyways, let me end it here. I'm going to take her on a quick walk, and hopefully she will give me some time to do this. I'll probably lock her in my room and keep a darting eye at her like this while I'm playing the game. But I can't stream and do that, so I gotta let you guys go. But thanks for watching. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for visiting. Leave a comment if you like what you saw. Leave a comment if you actually felt this way. If you can relate to me, I don't mind talking about it. Mental issues, I hate to say issues, but like issues with depression and things like that. It's always nice to have somebody that can somewhat relate to you. So I don't mind talking about it. I'll keep it short though. I'm not going to go in depth with anybody on that. But it is nice to know that other people are out there who are just like you. So hopefully you find some camaraderie. If you do, if you don't, it's all good, man. Now you have a little bit of understanding how some people work. But by no means ever tell people to just feel happier or anything like that. And don't forget about the dog advice. Seriously, I'm not kidding you. All dogs are different, sure, but the method is still all the same. Be sure not to give your puppies too much freedom in the beginning. I promise you, you will regret it. And keep on them. If you don't have time for a puppy, don't get one. Get a rescue. End of story. Have one that's already pre-trained, or someone that you don't someone you don't have to put too much time and attention to. Because I have to give this dog like walks all the time. So, anyways, that's all I got for you. Thanks for watching. This is Dro from Gen-Dro Studios signing out. Peace.